and female, Sa and Ka. Gifted and cursed, he sang and danced, laughing as the tears coursed down his dusted cheeks. Clothed in courage and terror, he leapt, chanting an exultation of life even as he left life behind. Aasah stepped once, twice, 3 times into the footprints of his own ancestor, who had fled in terror from the very thing he sought. Would seek, had sought, he thought, as his master had taught him. For everything, every action exists in all times and all places at once. Infinite and bold as a dragon, infinitesimal as dust, he flew. Flies, would fly, had flown. And in the end, as both dragon and dust are wont, he was, is, would be, had been, caught. Long he hung in the spider's web, a sacrifice come to the knife. He had been raised for this, trained and anointed and blessed for this. Every mouthful of food he had consumed, every breath sighed, every kiss denied, had been a step in the dance that had brought him here, a note in the long song of his people's atonement. The sins of his ancestors had led him here, and he would accept with a grateful heart whatever may be. Or, so he thought, until the web began to tremble. A great weight descended from above, a heaviness in time and space, mind and heart. The web that stung and held him to this time and place shivered, sending ripples of chill flesh along his bare and hairless skin. Aasah had dreamed of this since the night he first slept alone, had thought himself prepared. I know, he thought, knows, will know, had known. Nothing. It took all the strength he had, heart, body, and mind, to remain still and willing as the thing crept nearer. The web swayed and then shook till his bones rattled and his head whipped back and forth. Blood poured, red and molten through the stone caverns of his heart, heat enough to burn himself free should he so choose. The wind swept his arms, his legs, pulling at his hands and feet, promising to show him the way to escape should he so choose. He could abandon this mad and futile quest, give his people over as sacrifice in his place should he so choose. The world went still, and the thing stood over him, legs as long as 3 men laid head to foot, stretching up to the stars. Clusters of eyes like wicked stars glittering with their own pale light, all turned toward his pliant form. Fangs like polished dragon glass curving out and down as it prepared to strike. He had seen this. In every dream he had seen this, and in every dream he had been faced with the choice: live or die. Life or death, sang a voice in his mind, his heart, his bones. Life or death, sang his ancestors. Life or death, sang the shadows. Choose, choose, choose. He chose, chooses, would choose, had chosen, death and life. Aasah stared straight into the eyes of death and life and all things in between. He hung suspended from one ankle in the Araid's web, a model of the Illindriverse so vast his mind could not conceive its scope, so small his soul could not find it. At each joining of this web hung a glistening, shimmering drop of Atulfa. Pure magic, dragon's song manifest. In the act of falling into this web, Aasah saw he had torn the fabric of time and space, had rent an ugly wound in the flesh of the everything. Ah, he thought. Thus seeing, thus knowing at the last, Aasah made his choice. He flung his arms wide so that they stuck fast to the strands. The web burned as it touched his skin, branded him traitor and sacrifice, betrayer and hope. Aasah flung